Good morning, everyone. How are you this morning? Hello, everyone. Sorry, I forgot to turn on my mic. I think it should be working there now. How are you this morning? It is Wednesday. There we go. May 13th. And there, I'm just bringing it up on my iPad there. So this week I've been working with the Lakeside Retreat Paper Pumpkin. Paper Pumpkin is a great all-inclusive kit. They ship it to you once a month. It's a subscription-based kit, and you get everything that you need in there to create the usually 9 cards. And it's got great instructions. You get all your adhesive that you need. You get stamps and an ink spot. And you can purchase that 1 month, 3 months, 6 or 12 months at a time. So that is what we are working with today. I just want to quickly go over, we have a join special this month. So today through the 31st of May. And what it is you get all the new in-color ink pads for free on top of what you would normally get. So these are new ink pad styles. They are magnetic, so they all kind of stick together there, and then they open super easily. And they are a great new style. So you get those on top of what you would normally get. So that's an extra, well, $90 to $100 value, depending on how you purchase them individually or as a group. So that goes until the end of the month. So if you're interested in that, let me know, and I can go over that with you. And then the other thing I want to mention is our product of the month. Every month we have a different product that when you spend $100, you can purchase for $7. And this is super pretty paper. Mine is coming, but I haven't got it yet, so I can't show it to you in real. But it's actually vellum paper, which is very hard to see on this flyer here, but it is vellum, so you can see through it a little bit. So I can't wait to get that and check it out. But that goes until the end of the month as well. Okay, so I am making a 12 by 12 layout today, and the inspiration for my layout actually came from a card, and I do this quite often. I will see a card online and think, oh, I could make that would make a really great scrapbook page. So this is the card that I saw, and it says Creatively Yours, and this is by Wendy Lee, I believe is what it says there. And so this was the inspiration for my layout. I really liked how kind of clean and simple it is with just the paddles there. I love the blue stripe. I love blue and browns together. I really like that combo. So that is what I'm going to be recreating today in a 12 by 12 layout. So I'm going to start with a white base because that's what we have here. So I'll just set that there. And I am using those same blue pieces that she has used here. I'm going to use 2 of them. I could almost cut them in half and they would fit, but not quite. So I'm gonna just leave it as it is. I'm just going to glue them down. Some of this is going to be covered up, but it's a little bit under half, so it'd be like so close and it would just frustrate me if it didn't work out. So I'm just going to make things easy and leave it just like that. Now I have the coordinating suite, which is the Waterside Retreat Suite. So I have grabbed some of the stripe paper out of there to use on my layout. If you did not have this suite, you could very easily use this card background and just cut a strip off of there and put in the 4 spots. I just wanted to kind of go with a little easier, so I just went with the full strip of the pattern paper because I have it. So I'm going to adhere this down first to my stripe little piece here. I've cut my strip 3/4 of an inch, but I'm not having that all show. I just wanted to have enough to adhere my blue to. And I'm just kind of eyeballing it, how far down to go. I should probably measure, but if you have watched me before, I don't really measure. Sometimes I measure, not always. And then we have our top stripe. And I'm going to just stand up here to try to get it even. The photos that I'm using today are so adorable. Alrighty, so that is going to go right about there, and I think I can, oh no, before I adhere that down, I do want to add a little bit of stamping on here. So she has, whoops, Wendy has stamped this little image. And it looks to me like she has stamped it in Misty Moonlight. That's what I'm going to use. That did come in the stamp set with the kit. The color of ink spot though was green. The Peaceful Pine, our new green color. And I haven't used this stamp yet, so I'm just going to test it out here. Perfect. Okay. And I'm just kind of centering that in the blue, and I'm going in about 1/4 of an inch. Just to add a little interest on there, and I wanted to keep kind of fairly true to the card that I'm casing. There we go. I'm just going to clean that off because I'm going to need that block again. I think I am done with the Misty Moonlight ink though. So I'm going to close that up so I don't get blue everywhere. Okay. So there's our inspiration. Okay, we are going to put this down. It's going to be roughly in the middle. So that's going to go about there. I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. I'm not going to go right to the edge. There are a couple things, just one thing I guess, that I'm tucking in underneath that, and that will be on the bottom. There we go. I'm standing up a lot today. It's easier to see, to get things lined up when I'm standing up. There we go. Just thinking about what I want to do next. I do have a little bit of stamping. I want to stamp the birds, but when do I want to do that? I'm going to bring in my photos next, I think. So these are the photos that I'm doing. We're having a boat day, and this is my father-in-law's dog, Charlie, and this was the first time that we brought him with us, and he just absolutely loved it. Like, look at him here. He's just hugging Ellen after a day of swimming. We did get him to go on the tube once. We took him for just a nice slow ride, and then he wouldn't get back on. He was like, I tried it and that's enough. He would get on if we were just sitting, But if we got going, like if the boat was running, he wouldn't get back on it. He was like, no, I'm gonna stay on the boat for the ride. So I have printed those out in, what size are they? They're 3 by 4. I was going to do 4 by 6 photos, and then I had so many photos that I couldn't choose just 2 landscape photos, so I decided to go with 4 vertical portrait photos so that I could fit more on my page. I could have made a double page spread, I suppose, but I did it this way. So I'm not going to put this right in the center because I'm going to have my title at the top here. I'm going to bring it up about 1.5 inches. So I am going to measure this. Okay. 1.5 inches, maybe 1.25 inches. Let's see here. I do like my quilting ruler for this. Maybe I want it not quite that high. Maybe 1.25 inches. Because I don't want it centered because I'm putting my title at the top, but I don't want it so close to centered that it looks like I just did it wrong. So I'm gonna go 1.25 inches. Yeah, quilting ruler is super helpful because you can measure in 2 directions at the same time. So I do want it centered this way on my page. So that's going to be about there. Yeah, and I'm going to go ahead and lay that down. Where are my, there it is. So Charlie, because we were out in the water and he couldn't touch the bottom, he couldn't get back on the boat by himself. So the girls kept having to lift him back on the boat. They ended up with some scratches on their legs, but it was pretty fun having him out there. He really loved it. Okay, so we want 1.5 inches from the, or 1.25 inches from the bottom. And then right about there. There we go. So for my title, I have cut out Dog Days of Summer. I thought that was pretty fitting. And I cut that out in our mini alphabet. And I cut that in Misty Moonlight. I just used cardstock for that. A is going to be in the center. And then for summer, I actually pulled in a super old set. It's a wood block, season by season. And Stampin' Up! Used to put the date on theirs, and it's 2005 is the date on this stamp set. So that's kind of when I first started using Stampin' Up! So this must have been one of the very first stamp sets that I ever bought. So I have stamped summer on white in Misty Moonlight, and that is going to go right there. So this circle, this has come from the kit. I just cut a circle out of the middle here, so I can still use this as intended if I want to, because it's just showing just the outline of it. So I cut it right out of the center so that I would still be able to use this piece if I wanted to on a card. Okay, so I actually cut out two of those. I cut one in half for here and the date, and then I left one hole to do a little embellishing there. But before I put that down, I think maybe I'll stamp my birds, just in case I mess it up. I'm still at the point where I can fix things if I need to, I think. So I'm going to stamp that here, and then one here, and then one over here. And I think I'm going to do that in pecan pie. Once you get your layout all finished, it's a little stressful to do stamping on your background. So I want to do it before I get too much done. Okay, so that's going to go right about there. Okay. Sorry if my head's in the way here. Did that one better. This one I got a little smudgy. And then I'm going to stamp one here. I'm going to have some grass and things there. So I think this is about the right place. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Stressful part is over. So I am going to do the same right here with my paddles as she has done on her card. Before I put those down, let's start on our title. So usually before we go out on the boat, we will stop at Subway and get some lunch to take with us out. And my husband bought a foot-long sub for the dog as well. I'm trying to think now what kind it was. He was like, what kind should I get for the dog? What kind will he like? I think he got assorted. The cheapest one, I believe. But he liked that, that's for sure. And he has a little toy. You can kind of see it right there. A little floaty toy that we could throw out into the water, and then he would go out and get it. And he just loved it. He had a great day. He did kind of scratch a little bit on the back here when he was getting back into the boat, but it wasn't too bad. We laid a towel down, and that helped a little bit. Oh, here comes my little troublemaker. I don't know if you'll be able to see his head or not. He's trying to steal my water painter. Oh, he's going to lay down. Maybe he's going to be a good boy today. He's just watching, I guess. That's Steve. He is quite the troublemaker. Alrighty, so that's pretty good. Okay, so we're going to put summer here, and I will just use some glue dots to attach that. guess I could have popped this up too. Oh, it's got quite a bit of dimension because it's a few layers of paper and the photos. Maybe I will lay these guys down next. And then you use glue dots for that as well. So with your paper pumpkin, all of your adhesive is included in the kit. So this month, it was, I can do my outside two first. Dimensionals and tear and tape. Sometimes you get glue dots. I'm just gonna move those there. But I'm gonna end up with all that garbage on the floor if I didn't move it. So this did use all of our paddles because I'm going to have 3 on this side and 3 on this side. And in the kit there was 6. So that is one thing to keep in mind. I don't mind using a lot of it for my scrapbook layout. So that there was 2 paddles per card. I'm going to use this. I used my circle. I've used this for another card, so that was the card I did on Monday. I used that little circle scene. The paddles just kind of fit with the theme of this layout, so. I think it looks pretty cute. So I've added one of the little trinkets. This came in the Waterside Suite. Waterside Retreat Suite. It's a hard one to say. Tongue twister. So I have just tied that on with some linen thread. The Paper Pumpkin Creatives team, I didn't get to do a tutorial for it this month because my paper pumpkin came late. But there was some really great projects. So if you do already have this paper pumpkin, because this is April's paper pumpkin, if you do already have it and you are interested in that tutorial, let me know. It's $15 American. Oh, there, you get Steve's paw. But it had some great alternatives for this layout, or for this kit, pardon me. And if you are sad that you missed out on this kit, the Waterside Retreat Suite is a great alternative. It coordinates, it has all the same colors, and a lot of the same papers. So it would be a great alternative if you are feeling that you missed out on this paper pumpkin. They don't do that every time. Make it match. So I want this down a little bit. I think I'll overlap. Yeah, go just like that. But once in a while, I don't know, maybe once or twice a year, they will make it so it coordinates with one of the suites. I like it when they do that. Gives you a few more options. See Steve pass by there. Went out to see what everybody else is doing. so then I have one more little circle here, and that is going to tuck underneath. Kind of just like that. And then I have, yeah, I think that'll be about, maybe up a little bit. Go right about there, I think. All right, so I've used the label piece from the kit, but these words have come from the Splash and Relax. It's your day to make a splash. I thought that was just perfect for Charlie's first day on the boat. So that's gonna go there. And then I did pull in the bundle, Relaxing Waterside bundle. I wanted to use these little grass pieces here. And then I also used this little die cut here too. So I did stamp this in pecan pie, but I did stamp off once, so it is quite a bit lighter. Since it was going on a pecan pie circle, I wanted it to be a little bit different color. And then I cut out a few of those cattails. And there's 2 in that die set, so they go opposite directions, which is nice. It gives you lots of options. And then I pulled in the little life preserver, and that is from this kit as well. And that's going to tuck under there too. Okay, so we're going to start with this. I'm going to use glue dot for that. I did just put a little bit of pecan pie ink on the top of the cattails just to make it a little bit darker, so it would kind of stick out more. Then we're going to lay this down. Our little grass. One more cattail on top there. I like that little life preserver, it's cute. The paper in the suite has a whole page of them. And then, I think I'll have to pop this up to make it lay flat. Oops. I think we'll need our thicker ones for this side. The dimensionals that come in our kits, Paper Pumpkin or our crafting card kits, are just a smidgen thicker than the dimensionals that you get when you purchase them like individually. And sometimes it works out because it's a little bit lower right here, right? So sometimes you kind of just need that little extra lift. All right, so that's going to go there. And those birds worked out just perfect there. This kit did come with embellishments. Let me see if I can find them here. There they are. Some little pebbles. So I'm going to add those on too. Our scene down here. And then I do have journaling strips to add on. I think I will add those after. It does take me a little bit. I'll just place them here, and then I usually pop them up with dimensionals, so it takes me a little bit to get all the dimensional strips, and I didn't have it quite ready before I went live. I was printing it out like a minute before. So that's gonna go like that. I have printed it in like a brown colored font because there was no other black on my page, so I didn't want to add in black journaling, so I just changed the color. And then I'll just kind of add it like that. Alrighty, so there we go. There's our layout for today. I super love it. I think it's super cute, and I love how it coordinates with this card. Alrighty, so thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, I hope you have a great day.